Hey folks, Poverty Point Customs here. Well, this is my new Benchmark 3800 PSI pressure washer. Purchased this through Home Hardware. It was on sale for $5.99 plus tax, regular $700 plus tax. So let's get this unboxed. The reason I got this is my Husqvarna kicked the bucket. The pump died on it. So this is everything that was in the box. Now that everything's unboxed, what we have to do first is install one of the tires. One side's already installed. So there's no tools for this. You just squeeze this and it goes right through there. And it locks right in there. So these tires actually have a tube in it, so we're going to top up the air in both tires. So next we're going to install the handle. So it comes with a bag of nuts and bolts, so we're going to use these. Again, this doesn't require tools. So the next step is to add engine oil to the motor. It calls for a 10W30. Now this is shipped with no oil in the motor, so make sure you add it. It's also shipped with no oil, so you need to go out and buy some. So we're gonna unscrew the oil fill location. And again, this is where your dipstick's at. Now it does come with a funnel to fill it. I already have my own, so I'm just gonna use that one. Now I'm switching over all my power equipment to full synthetic. However, for the break-in period, I'm going to be using a conventional oil. This is a 10W30. And after a few hours of running, I'm going to be switching it over to Mobil 1 full synthetic 10W30. So this calls for 700 mils or 0.7 liters of oil. And I just want to make a note, when you are checking it, as you can see, there's your low and high on your dipstick. When you are checking it, you check it like this. You do not screw it in to check the oil level. So you just check it like that. Alright, so that's about right in the middle, so that's fine for the break-in period. When I put the synthetic in, again, this is only going to run for maybe a couple hours. I'm going to have the synthetic more towards the top. So what really made me interested in this model of pressure washer is you can actually change the fluid in the pump. So we're going to check the fluid. This takes a 10W40 oil in it. So to check the oil level in the pump, this is your pump dipstick. Just push it in, do not screw it in, pull it out, and you want it between the low and fill, and this did come with oil in it. Again, when I change the oil in the engine after the break-in period, which I'm going to do after a few hours, I'm going to change this to it. I'm going to actually be using a Rotella 15W40. So this is fine. And this part that was screwed into it initially, this was just in there for shipping. Just want to note too, on your pump, there is a sight glass on the side, which is actually really nice to check the oil quickly. And you can see it's right in the middle. So this is your air filter. This is the cover for the air filter to install it. It snaps in, just like that. And we're going to be doing a full maintenance again after the break-in period, and I'll show you how to check or change your air filter too. So the next step is to put the wand together. So what you need to do is pop off this protective cover. What I like to do, where this part screws into here, I like to have a little bit of white lithium grease. It stops it from seizing together. And just screw it together. And we can remove this protective plastic. And the wand's going to sit on the side here, just like that. So these are your different spray tips. So we're going to place them in the spray tip holder. In the bag too, it has this little tool. What this is used for is to clean out the spray tip. You just put it right through there to clean out the hole if you get any debris, dirt or whatnot caught in there. So just make sure you keep this handy somewhere. So next we're going to connect our hose. This end of the hose is going to go right into your pump here. You're going to pull it back like that, and then it's locked in. What I'm going to do is put a little bit of white lithium grease here. It just stops it from seizing. And we're going to do the same where it connects to your wand. So really the last step is we got to add some fuel. Now before I use it, I'm going to give it a quick coating of ceramic spray coating through Hybrid Solutions Turtle Wax. That just helps protect it from the dirt and grime that this is going to be cleaning. So I just want to point it out. I bought this brand new. It's May of 2024, and you see the manufacture date is 2021. So a lot of these models will actually sit around the store, and this one's been there for 3 years. Not saying it's been at the store, but it was actually built 3 years ago. Now that this is all together, we can actually test it out. Again, I've double checked all the fluids. Alright, so it's time to try this out. So I've got the garden hose hooked into the back of the pump. So before I turn the water on and try to start the pump, what I'm going to do is actually just prime the engine. In other words, it hasn't had oil in it since it was put together. So we're just going to get the oil moving throughout the engine block. So to start this, you turn the switch to on, and this is how you turn it off also. So you're going to turn your fuel to the on position or open. This is your choke just right above it. You're going to turn it to the start position, and once it starts, you're going to push it back to the run position. You're going to put your throttle to full. So we're going to go turn the water on next. And then when you're pulling the recoil to start it, you're going to squeeze in on the handle. If not, you're going to have a lot of water pressure built up, and it's going to be hard to turn over the motor. So I'm just using my foam cannon with the Chemical Guys foam cannon soap in it. The pressure on this is unreal compared to my Husqvarna PW3200 that this is replacing. So we're going to let that soak in for a few minutes, and then we're going to spray it off. And I'm going to be using the 40 degree. I find this is the main one that I used on my other pressure washer. Gives a nice broad fan spray to it. Alright, so let's get this sprayed off. They also suggest too, if your hose is hooked to it with water pressure going into the pump, to squeeze the trigger every minute or two. That stops a buildup of pressure inside the unit. As well, if you're not using this, don't let this idle for minutes on end. It's a little hard on the unit. So if you're not going to be using it for a little bit, either turn it off and turn your water off, or relieve the pressure by squeezing the handle on the nozzle. Just a tip, these hoses are pretty rigid, so the easiest way to get them coiled back up where you hang your hose is to just disconnect it. Again, it's just a quick disconnect. And we can disconnect our garden hose. So it also has an onboard detergent tank, and in order to use this, you put your detergent in here. It says not to put any type of bleach products in there. And in order to use the detergent tank, when your pressure washer's on, you're going to put the soap frother nozzle on. So when you have this on the tip, it's going to put out soap onto whatever you're trying to clean. And then when you have everything soaped down, just put on your proper nozzle or tip. And I just have the wood under the back there. If not, the pressure washer, because they vibrate, will vibrate into the gravel and end up scratching the base underneath the soap dispenser. So that was my first time using the Benchmark 3800 PSI pressure washer. Worked fantastic. It is a little bit hard to start, so you have to manage squeezing the trigger as well as pulling the recoil at the same time. Again, it wasn't too hard, but there is a little bit of tension on it when you're trying to start it, so just make note of that. Again, the pressure on this is unreal compared to my 3200 Husqvarna. So after a few hours of going through the break-in period, I'm going to be doing the next video, which is going to be changing the engine oil, the pump oil. We'll check the air filter and do an overall inspection on the pressure washer, checking all the nuts and bolts and whatnot. Like always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future videos, make sure you post them below. I really appreciate you watching. And happy pressure washing.